Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Ben the Bold and this is our Two Sicilies campaign. Yes, we started out as Two Sicilies, the Emperor or the King of Two Sicilies, and now we are the Emperor of Italy. However, will we stay an empire or will some of the radical ideas that have been spreading to our nation take a hold? We will have to see. Speaking of the radical ideas taking hold throughout Europe and indeed throughout the world, here we are immediately joined in Vienna where the Empire, the Austrian Empire, or better yet, just Austria at this point, is doing their best to hold off the communist Austrian revolt. We will have to see how this goes. I definitely do not necessarily, as a strong empire, do not want Austria to fall to the communists, at least not a strong Austria to fall to communism. We will have to see what happens there. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and unpause and see where this episode takes us. Now, in the last episode, we did free Bulgaria, the Bulgarian people, from the yoke of the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire is, let's just admit it, a shell of what they once were. They are no longer, I would say, a dominant power in Europe, and I wouldn't even necessarily say that they are a dominant power anywhere. I wonder where they are ranked in this list. They are down here at 33. They're the 33rd most prominent country in the world. That is quite the fall from grace. And actually, Egypt is right above them. Speaking of Egypt, I wouldn't necessarily mind going to war with Egypt. We actually went to war with Egypt in the last two episodes. Now, Egypt did peace out. That kind of started the domino effect soon after the French Republic peaced out. Then the Austrian Communist Revolt happened, and Austria peaced out. Unfortunately, I'm not really sure what happened. It might have been a misclick on my part. It might have been because the Communist Revolt fired in Austria, but we had asked for Istria as well as them to release Croatia, but when Austria peaced out, neither of those things happened. I am very interested to see how this war is going to go. It looks like Communist Austria is, okay, I don't even know if Austria has any armed forces. They sure do, but it's not going to be enough. The Austrian army was bled dry by, let's be honest, the German and the Russian empires, but we also bled them dry in the mountains of the Italian Alps as well. I will say we might need to think about a regime change in communist Austria. I don't necessarily like them being there being a communist power this close at our doorsteps, especially not one that I have a feeling that we may have had a heavy hand in helping to create. We do have a lot of infamy right now, so I'm not necessarily looking to go to war with anyone right away. Instead, we are building up our explosives industry. I will probably go ahead and continue building up industry. Perhaps in our newly acquired territory of Albania, we now have a foothold in the Balkans. I am going to look to free the people of the Balkans and to put them under the Italian boot, if you will. We do have a movement to enact landed voting. I am a wrathful, vengeful, and I am now brave. A wrathful, vengeful, and brave leader. I am not going to be listening even to the other landowners. I rule Italy with an iron fist. For now. We'll see what happens. We'll see if I'm able to maintain control. Let's see, what is going on over here? There's a lot of turmoil. I could go ahead and try to incorporate that state. I don't necessarily know if that is something I want to do quite yet. Let's take a look at the population. Yeah, they're all native Albanian. That's not necessarily going to change. I don't think I'm going to worry about incorporating the state. We do have a positive state modifier here. Let's see what that is once the game finishes saving. Alright, so we get 15 agricultural throughput and also 15 plantation throughput. Let's see what kind of buildings we can build here. Alright, I mean, cotton plantations are great, sure, but nothing else really speaks to me. Maybe some tobacco. I do believe we are running low on tobacco, and now that we have... I'm going to go ahead and just queue up 5 tobacco plantations. Now that we do have the different mobilization settings in military, we actually can... excuse me. We can activate tobacco to improve morale recovery, so... having a lot of tobacco isn't necessarily the worst thing, especially for our army. We have lots of diplomacy points, so let's go ahead and improve relations with the French Republic. And I think I'm also going to improve relations with Serbia. And that might be it for now. Also, you know what? With the United States, why not? They are definitely a power, even though they... never cleared up the whole Indian territory, and now is Mexico just fully belongs, or sorry, Colorado just fully belongs to Mexico. Imagine living in Mexican Colorado, well, I guess you would just call it Colorado, and completely separated in this perfect little square inside of the United States of America. How fun. We are also building lots of fertilizer plants. That is just to help us. Oh, especially because now we should take a look at our production methods. I do believe we have a lot of new rural ones that require a lot of this fertilizer. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Jumping up to fertilizers is... for my wheat farms is quite the advancement. Just going through... oh, and I can actually go to improved fertilizers. I'm going to do that. Just give us a little bit extra. Steel mills, I can go to the rotary valve engine. What is that going to do? That is going to mean that I need more coal. And it is going to mean that I don't need as many laborers. I think I am going to go ahead and hit that because that will make all of my steel mills more profitable. And now I'm going to check and make sure that in my coal mines, let's go ahead and change everything to sawmills. In my coal mines, I think, no, I'm not going to upgrade to rail transportation. But I am probably going to look to build some more coal mines. Now, we are officially out of peasants here, so we might look at some of these PMs that will, that will start saving me people, such as the rotary valve engine. Anything in tooling workshops? We have an absolute ton of tooling workshops here. Yes, so again, I'm going to need more coal, but I'll free up a lot of laborers to now work in the coal mines, which we don't have any more coal mines available here. Where do we have coal available? I would be interested in building some more coal mines. I think that's going to be really important. I believe we have a bunch in Piedmont. We also have some in Sardinia and Venice. I'm going to go ahead and build, let's go with 3 more in Venice. It looks like Piedmont, let's take a look at our, yeah, so it looks like we could use some railroads in Piedmont. I'll go ahead and queue up a railroad. And I'll queue up a railroad wherever we need one. Now, my private industry may be doing this too, but I'm okay building a couple extra railroads, because that gives me that nice transportation. Inefficient agriculture, we've gotten that event many, many times. Another thing that I want to do is continue to up my literacy rate. I would love to get my literacy rate by the end of the game up above 90%. I just think that That's a good goal for us. So I'm going to build 2 more universities. Pan-nationalism has unlocked. Gonna build 2 more universities there, and you know what? I think you could use a university down here. We'll go ahead and build 2 more. Alright, mutual funds has unlocked. We also unlocked an achievement, Poor Huddled Masses. Great, I am not really sure what that achievement is. What is that achievement? Shall we take a look real quick? Poor Huddled Masses have a cultural migration target in one of your states. Okay, interesting. I don't know necessarily what that was, but sure. We have some new technology. Let's take a look at it before we go into our production methods. I think I'm actually going to go back into military. I think having a really strong military is super important right now. Military statistics would be good for that daily organization gain. Plus, we would get advanced tactics training in the barracks. I think that's probably our best bet. And then moving on from there, eventually we will be able to... Oh, we could just go ahead and get trench works right now. That would make us nigh impregnable. I'm not necessarily wanting to hit that tech quite yet. We're only in 1894, so we have a little bit of time. Let's just take a quick look at the society tech. I could go into corporatism. Investment banks might be a good option. +1 companies minus 15% urbanization per urbanization center. Or in production. Ooh, what if I just went ahead and went straight to electricity? Let's do it. You think anywhere has electricity yet? They don't in Berlin. I do want to take a look at my laws really fast. Let's see if there's any laws that may need to be advanced. I think tenant farming towards commercialized agriculture, I think that is a win-win for everyone involved, except for the trade union. But we're focusing on strong industrial power. We are still a mighty empire after all. Let's take a look. Austria is now this hideous red color. You know what that means. We now have a communist Council Republic Austria at our northern border. I definitely think that that is something that we will need to be mindful of. I am going to go ahead, let's take a look at our diplomatic. I think I'm going to go ahead, can I rival them? It does not appear so. Just while I'm here, anyone want to join our customs union? Yes. As I thought, Bulgaria may join our customs union very quickly, and they sure have. Bulgaria has officially accepted our custom union, so our custom union now looks like this. I think it's time to start breaking up the Ottoman market to get more of the Ottoman market into our customs union. I wouldn't mind doing the same thing for the Egyptian market, especially because the Egyptian market seems to have stolen the Greeks from us. Now, I think that might have been because they got militarily involved in Greece a couple episodes ago, and I just haven't checked since. I'm going to go ahead and just continue. I'm going to max out the coal mines in Piedmont. I am also... Oh, and I think it is about time that we start moving a lot of our industry over to publicly traded. So while the game kind of ticks forward, I'm just going to do that wherever we can. Just puts more capitalists into the market. That's going to really jumpstart our private industry, even though it may not necessarily help her bottom line in the shortcoming. Reinforced concrete, which means we can build more or better construction efficiency. Didn't realize I didn't have the condensing pump or dynamite for our sulfur mines. Let's go ahead and make sure that we do that. Cotton plantations can be publicly traded. Dye plantations. Oh, we do still have a dye plantation. Where is that? It's in Italian North Cameroon. I can't get to it, so that neither helps nor hurts us. Just going through and hitting all of these buttons. Alright, we seem to have gotten a pop-up, so I'll pause that really quickly. While debates continue over commercialized agricultural law, a polemic by Enrico has publicized a simple and catastrophic flaw in the proceedings. A redraft is unfortunately underway. Alright, well, I'm going to tell them to, hey, find an acceptable compromise. Who is, what? He's part of the intelligentsia, okay? Or I can say, let them take the bait, push another matter. I'm going to actually hit that. Don't really have a reason. Just made that decision. Well, I guess we should probably put our arms industry all to repeaters. That is going to create probably a huge surplus. We have a huge surplus in a lot of different items. You know what we don't have a surplus of, and I'm going to say I bet it's coal. So again, building those coal mines, building those coal mines. Ooh, a violent eruption has shaken the state of Sardinia. Fragments of tetra and volcanic ash have destroyed buildings and crops, taking some of the lives of our people with them. Well, we can't predict such an eruption, or our people need us. We could give an absolute ton of money and really not help the devastated. So I'm just gonna, yeah. Sorry, peeps. Again, we need more coal. I'm gonna go ahead and probably just build as many coal mines as I can. Let's see. Coming back up to... Oh, interesting. It looks like we have a trade states proposal. Okay, alright, alright. So I'm pretty sure Italian North Cameroon is here, and they are willing to give us, which is completely useless to us right now, because we cannot... We can't get there because we gave away our colony to Russia. They're willing to trade Dutch Gabon, where would that be? Alright, down here. You know what? I think a colony that we have a little bit of access to is better than a colony we don't have any access to. So we do already have a port there, and hey, we can get some dyes. Not a lot, but we can get some dye manufacturing going. I'll go ahead and hit that button. Let's stop all progress on... these colonies. Who else has colonies over here? So, Great Britain and the Netherlands still. and Spain. I could start some colonies down in South Africa. I don't really think that's worth it. I also forgot, was I building colonies over in... No, it does not appear so. I thought I was building some colonies in Indonesia, but I guess not. I guess they never took hold. I'm building 23 more coal mines in Venice. I don't have the population to sustain that, so we will need to put some labor-saving PMs in place, such as the rotary valve engine. The problem is, with that, I need coal to do that. The proposal for commercialized agriculture has sat in deadlock. The landowners have advocated for enlisting Enrico for his assistance in rallying the intelligentsia in favor of the government. I can say make overtures to the undecided. All right, intelligentsia gets some interest group attraction. Yeah, that'd be good. All right, I'll do it. Speaking of, I've been working in government. We have pretty good legitimacy, although it might be time to... No, I still don't necessarily want to add anyone else to the government. I think I'm very happy just to do that. I'd kind of forgotten to do any of this. Although, if I add the industrialists, that is going to hurt. I think I'm going to go ahead actually and do that, because that's going to really expand the number of laws that I can pass. Although I have been just kind of relying on agitators, really. Speaking of, can I invite some agitators? Nope. No one wants to come. Now, of course, I could change my migration laws or my cultural acceptance and influence more agitators to come my way, but not super worried about doing that right now. Look at our GDP. We have come so far. I mean, where did our GDP start? We were down here at like, I think 3 million, and now we're up at 73 million. That is going to put us number 6 worldwide. And our coal mines are going, we're going to start building coal mines like crazy. Which should really help our economy. We should all of a sudden be making a lot more money. We hopefully won't need as many laborers in some of the other PMs so they can take better jobs. We are trying to get rid of the peasants. We're just, in general, we're building up the economy here. And, of course, our literacy rate as well. I'm pretty happy with the literacy rate. Although we, I think, can get it better. Let's check out what our literacy looks like in comparison to the rest of Europe. But first, we have a defeat admitted. His arguments have been publicly defeated, forcing him to return his gaze to more advantageous things. A faction in the intelligentsia has thrown their weight behind commercialized agriculture. Celebrations are in order, or run a line in the papers now. So he can become more popular. We can get, I think we'll take the 10% enactment chance. And I think we're going to, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and call it right now. I think we're going to hit on the next two ticks. I think we will adopt this in 3 ticks. I can speed that up by getting rid of, and in fact, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. Let's get rid of a consumption tax on transportation. That is going to put us into the negative, but in terms of money, but now transportation's more affordable and my pops will go more places, which is always good. And importantly, that along with this historic unlock is going to mean that we can get more efficient buildings, and really just take our production and our economy and our industry into space. Let's check out some of the other technology we can get. I think, now might be the time for the steam donkey. That way we can have more efficient coal mines, as we are going to need more efficient coal mines, because I want to come into Lazio and build our first power plant. Now, our power plant is going to use engines. Okay, in fact, I might actually want to build an engine manufacturer here as well. Do I have steel mills here? I don't. All right, let's go up into Piedmont. Do I have motor industries here? No, I don't. Let's go ahead and build 5 motor industries, because our motor industries are really going to take off now that we have electricity. Let's go ahead, though, and produce a power plant in Rome. Rome will be one of the first lit cities. I'm also going to... Yeah, let's go ahead and build a university in Calabria. I'm going to get a little bit ahead of myself and move the power plant in Lazio up to the top of the queue. I'd really like to go ahead and have an electrified Rome before the end of this episode. The industrialists have taken an interest in commercialized agriculture. Many industry leaders hope to secure the entire supply chain for themselves. So I can say middle managers will be a thing of the past. That will make the industrialists happy. The industrialists are in government now, so that could be good. Or the workers will need new additional protections. Makes the trade unions happy. I'm not super worried about them. Or an interesting proposal, we're taking it. You know what? I'm going to go ahead, because I don't really want to make the command economy pop support higher. Or maybe I do. I mean, do I want to go communist? I don't know. I feel like at this point, he has matured enough. He's also brave. He's wrathful. He knows how to run a state. Whether his heir apparent will or not, I don't know. Can we do anything with his heir apparent? No, we can't interact with him yet. Let's go ahead and say middle managers will be a thing of the past. All right, we are building our first electrical grid. Rome is going to be a bright and shining city on a hill once more. Which it makes sense. I mean, we're just restoring Rome to its former glory. Now, I don't think we're going to restore the borders of the Roman Empire here. That was never our goal either, though. We weren't trying to create a new Roman Empire. We were trying to create a new Italy, a new Italian Empire, yes, but a new Italy. Let's take a look at our infamy real quick. We are down almost to 15. Okay. Our rural folk want to pass industry ban. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. All right, we didn't end up getting it in the next 2 ticks, just like I planned. However, I'm pretty sure we have a 96% chance of getting it on the next tick. So I think we will have commercialized agriculture very soon. Also, our economy is looking fantastic. Our standard of living is slowly going up. I think that it might be time for me to lower taxes again. No, I'm gonna get a little bit of a surplus for the first time really in this entire series. And very soon, Rome will be electrified. We are now officially on an electrified grid. So what does that mean? What happens now that we have electricity. All right, Russia wants a trade agreement. I'm going to do that. They helped us out in a war. I'm on free trade. I think I'm on free trade. Actually, I need to look at that. But I do want to make sure that Russia likes us, because I think we may end up having to unify and fight against a communist Austria once more. The rural folk have expressed their concerns about government decisions clearly in favoring the industrialists. We've gotten that several times. I'm just going to say they need to accept it and move on. We now have commercialized agriculture. Awesome. That's going to mean that we have unlocks a whole lot of new production methods and disallows some production methods. All right, well, let's take a look. I'm going to assume that that is in the... Question is, what does it actually unlock? I'm not really sure. Maybe I should have known that before we started. Either way, maybe I'll look it up between episodes, because I believe this is where we are going to end it for today. Pretty quiet episode today. We do have a communist Austria on our northern border. We also do have a truce with them, though, so I'm not super worried about them at the moment. However, I might think that a regime change is in order. In fact, wouldn't it be something to put a member of the Bourbon dynasty on the throne of Austria? I don't think that'll happen. I don't know if the game is necessarily wired like that. However, maybe putting a Habsburg back into power in Austria would not be the worst thing. It surely has to be better than a lot of communists. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. I've been the Bold. You have been you. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you on the next one.